So I'm here with Armando. Armando is from Cuba, right? Has lived in the U.S. how long now?
A little more of 5 years.
5 years. But the
Yes,
crazy thing is, you were apart from your family for four
four
of those
years.
5 years. They
Yes,
were in Cuba, and you were trying to get them here to the United States, right? But you ran into problems, and things got delayed, and then we got into, when did they came last November, right? Was it last
yes.
November?
Was September.
September. Okay, so they've been
Yes,
here a little
yes,
bit longer.
yes. After 4 years,
Yeah.
was a long time.
What was that day like when they came?
I cannot believe when I see them coming out from the airport. Was the moment that we was praying for such a long time, and when we see the they coming was the answer of God. You always are praying, but you not always pay attention when God is responding your prayer. And at that moment was He opened the Red Sea for me, and was so great. See then, and it's so great have them. Now we have the normal life here, and we sometimes don't remember that we was through all these 4 hard
Yeah.
years.
Oh my gosh. I remember we walked through that together, and there were a lot of ups and downs of, is this going to happen? And you were amazing in just persevering through that. I know there were times when you wondered what was going to happen, but well, we're talking a little bit about what it means to love our neighbors. We've been doing this series, and specifically, how do we love our neighbors when they're different than us in the way that they look, right? And as you know, in America, we have a lot of different ethnic groups. We've got a lot of races here, and it can be challenging at times. We're seeing that right now in our country as well. But I'm just curious, when you first came to America, and even since then, as you thought about your family coming here, what's been your experience in how you felt accepted here, and are there times when you felt not accepted as well here, and even in subtle ways? Yeah.
Yes. First, when I arrived, I came to Miami. And Miami is a multicultural city. And more than 50% of the population is Cuban. When I arrived to Miami, I don't feel any difference.
Yeah. You felt like you're at home.
Yes, yes. We say that Miami is home with food because in Cuba we don't have a lot of food. It's really hard situation. Cuba is a different country of the rest of Latin America because we have a communist regime. You don't have any freedom. We feel a lot of racism with the Cuban over there. And before I came here, I was struggling with the Cuban situation.
Yeah. So you felt racism in Cuba?
Yes,
Okay. Explain that a little bit. What did you feel?
not with the Cuban people, but I feel racist. The government, for example, don't allow that we as Cuban go to any hotel. And this is something basic in any part of the world. If you want to go to a hotel for whatever reason, for Cuban was illegal.
It's illegal to go to a hotel.
Yes,
in Cuba.
only if you come outside of Cuba, you can go to a hotel. For us, was illegal where to the store. Only if you are outside of Cuba, you can go to the store and buy whatever you need. We only can eat what the government gave us to eat. We only can go to the place that the government allow us to go. And when you live in this kind of situation, in some point you know that you have to escape. This is one of the reasons that I came to United States. This is the land of freedom. And this is the first phrase that I hear when I arrive to the United States. Welcome to the United States, the land of freedom.
Yeah. And you experienced that when you came to Miami? Did you feel a sense of freedom?
In some way, yes. In some way, no. Was hard to change, and especially I cannot feel freedom when I don't have my family with me. I feel that I was in a prison at that time because I was missing my kids and thinking that I have to wait maybe 2 years. This was the first goal that we have, to see them again.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, so
being that.
I was not happy. I was crying and praying, and in some point I say I have to return back to Cuba, but this was dangerous because if the government know that I return, maybe I can go to prison.
To prison, yeah.
Yes.
So you moved from Miami to Dublin, Ohio, right?
Yes.
How's Miami different from Dublin, and did you feel accepted in Dublin, or what was it like there comparatively?
I was so concerned when first I moved here. First, because I don't speak any English at all. I just have the basic, hello, how are you, and nothing else. Here in Columbus, it's hard to see people that speak Spanish. In Miami, everyone speaks Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, you have to move. But here in Columbus, everyone is English. The weather is different, and the people is different. And this was one of my main concerns: how I can deal with people that are so different to me, that have different background, that have different culture of me.
Yeah. Did you feel lonely?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes, but when I arrived here, this was a miracle of God, because God put here lovely people to care about me, to care me. When I arrived here, I don't have car. The week after I arrived here, I find a job, and it's like 20 minutes from the house that I was living. And God put people from the church that every day they took me home, took me work, and later returned me to the house. Every day, 7 a.m., I have a person waiting for me and helping me and take me home, and they return, and sometimes they bring breakfast for me, and sometimes some of them know that I love Coke. And my surprise when I went into the car was that they have a big Coke.
But you started work still not knowing English, right?
Yes.
So what was that like? I mean, was that challenging?
A lot. But part of the situation is that I don't have the opportunity to say no. I don't have the opportunity to say, I prefer go to the school and take 1 year learning English. Yeah. No, because I have a family, and I just start. And I praise the Lord for my coworker. He has a lot of patience. Just start learning English, and I work with computer. It's not only learn English; it's learn the computer English. Was a challenge.
I bet, yeah. So, and all this while, your family is back in Cuba, and you're communicating and trying to stay in touch with them and working in a job where you don't speak English. That's crazy. I don't know how you did that and kept it together. So you're working towards your family getting here. Your family eventually, right, you get that call that they're here. When you thought about them coming here, because your wife Amy didn't speak fluent English, right?
No.
So, and your kids didn't either. So they're coming to the same situation you came into. What did you think? How did you feel about that for them? Were you concerned for them?
Yes, I have some hard time because sometimes with you come from different culture, the people, the tendency is that they don't know who you are, and they assume. And when they assume, sometimes you don't have the same opportunities in your work area, or maybe they can think that you are not enough because you are to a different place. And if you don't study in United States school, it's not as good as the other school in the rest of the world.
Okay.
And this was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I start talking with people by phone.
Okay.
They don't understand what I say.
Yeah.
And some of them have patience and say, okay, you send me an email, but others say, I don't understand what you say.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk with you.
Right.
Okay.
That's hard. I
Yes.
bet to feel that way, to have
Yeah.
someone not understand,
Yes.
and not be willing to take time.
Yes, and sometimes with patience you can understand whatever the people say, and with love.
Yeah.
When you want to help, everything is possible with love.
Yeah.
But when you don't want to help, you always put barrier around you. I was so concerned that this happened with the kids, especially for the bullying, because when you hear someone that speaks different than you, the tendency with kids especially, sometimes is say, you are different,
Yeah.
go away
Yeah.
from me, or you are not part of this group, you are not from here.
Right.
What I say then when they arrive is that I just told them that don't take everything personal. Mm-hmm. The people don't do bad thing to you; they that do bad thing because they are sinner.
Yeah.
And this happen. This is not a problem with you. This is a problem with God.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't respond good, they are not responding good to you. They are responding bad to God because they don't have God. Yeah. And this was healing, especially the first week that Susan, my daughter, was here. One girl started pushing her from the group. Mm-hmm. She arrived crying at home. We was heartbreaking at this time.
Yeah.
But that night we start praying with her and say, what God is doing in your life through this situation. Yeah. And she prayed, and the other day, this girl that was fighting with her just sent a note and say, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake, and this don't going to happen again. I want to be your friend. And we have this note in our refrigerator today, and this is we remember every time that we see this, that God responds the prayers.
Oh my gosh, what a powerful story and an illustration, not just of God's answering prayer, but just changing someone's heart about, because we go with just preconceived ideas of different people, and we bring them in, and then, we make assumptions and we treat people differently. And to see a heart change like that, to be open to actually enter into somebody's life and understand a little more what they're going through, that's amazing.
Especially one day. This was amazing for us, because we was hoping maybe go to the school, and we was not sure. But
have you felt any other assumptions, like as a Cuban immigrant, like people make other assumptions about you, about who you are, what you do, or anything like that?
I feel that for us, sometimes the things are a little harder, because we are not from here. For the regular Americans, talk about credit is normal. We never have credit in Cuba. Fill a resume for work. For the American, it's normal. They teach this in the school. For us, it's not normal. Everything that we have to do here is a little harder because we don't know the process. sometimes deal with people that don't know the process is this make the people angry.
They assume that you should know the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's easy.
Instead of being patient and
Yes,
helping
you have to know how to
Yeah.
buy a phone
Yeah.
or how to buy online.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's another place that you can feel probably lonely when you have to figure those things out on your own. You don't have someone to help you. Wow. So what's it been like since they've been here? Because I'm assuming Amy now is understanding the language more, right? And your kids are too. How have they acclimated to school? And what's life like now for you guys? And by the way, you just added another little one. We need to add that.
Yes.
Yeah, little Benjamin, who was just born, just came home after spending a couple weeks in the hospital. Yeah.
All new for us. Yes. After more than a year now, we are seeing the hand of God in an amazing way in our life. The Bible is full of impossibles. If you start reading the Bible, the first chapter was everything was dark. And this is an impossible. What happened after everything is dark? God only say, and something happened. We are living now by faith. And this year have been the most amazing year with God. Because it's good to know that you cannot do everything, that you are not omnipresent, or that you have all the power. This creates a dependency in God. And right now we are living, trusting God, loving God, and trying to be as close as possible with God. And God are making a huge difference. After 4 years apart, at this point, in a normal situation, we don't have any reason to be together. Because 4 years is almost a life. Yes, I have the baby only have a week.
Yeah.
He is alive.
Yeah.
4 years is a lot. But see God, how He is faithful with us and responding and loving us this is our testimony.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you a couple of other just different questions. How does your experience make you feel about immigration, like in the United States? You know, we've got a lot of turmoil right now dealing with immigration, and as in everything in our country, it seems to be there's polarization. Having come here, having brought your family here, do you have any thoughts, feelings about it?
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful with United States. I'm so grateful with the church in United States because I discovered a family here. I think that now I can say that was a good decision. Just move here. I have 2 American mothers that are carrying my family as my physical mother. I have a family, the cell group, they are providing meals 2 times a week for us. And if you see that, sometimes we put our focus in what is the problem, but we have good solution here in the United States too, and we have good people here in the United States too, and I am so, so grateful.
Do you feel that because of that you feel part of America now? Do you feel like I'm an American? Or do you feel...
I don't know. This is a good question, but I feel like Cuban American.
Okay.
And this is
Yeah.
because half of my life, or more than half of my life, was Cuba. But I feel that this is what I want for my kids.
That was one of my questions, I think. What do you long for them, even as you think about the future and their opportunities and what could happen in their life here? What do you long for them?
The main thing for us is that they become Christian. And I think that this country can give a lot of opportunity to serve others. You have a lot of tools. From Cuba, you cannot go to Honduras and give food. You cannot give $20 a month for the kids, or you cannot send a school bag for them because it's impossible. But here you have the opportunity to serve others, like not other part in the world. Sometimes I feel that the people here in the United States forget about that. And we assume here that everything is easy and everything is good, and we have toilet paper, and we have a nice house, and we have air conditioning, and for us, we assume that this is normal. And what I want for them is that they don't assume that this is normal, and second, that they use all the tools that God is giving them to serve others. With Cuban passport, you cannot go anywhere in the world. I think that you only can go without visa to 2 or 3 countries in the world. And these countries, Africa, Haiti, and countries that don't have a lot of things to do. Talking tourists or something. But with United States passport, you can make mission in almost every part in the world. And with the passport, they can change life, and they can change people, and God can use them. This is my pray for them, and just hoping that God responds.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for just answering questions.
Thank you so
and
much.
Jumping in. Yeah, it was good.